Doing front brakes today on a L494 Range Rover Sport. It's a V6, not that it matters, but the front brake pad worn light has come on, which I know they're worn. And as you can see, the rotors have a nice little glazing to them, and they're starting to get a lip. So, first thing you always want to do is pop the hood. And I am looking for the brake reservoir, which is probably under this, if I had to guess. And you just want to open the reservoir, so that way, when you decompress the pads, the fluid has somewhere to go in the reservoir there. So let's see, twist those four off. Let's see what's under here. Pull the clips out. Just put them right there for now. And there she is. I guessed right. So, like I said, loosen the cap. Open it just a crack so it can vent. I bought the brake parts on Rock Auto. It was like 180 some odd dollars shipped to my door for four pads, 2 rotors. And I got Powerstop. I splurged a little bit. You can obviously go a little cheaper than I did, but it's up to you. It's a heavy truck, and my wife drives it, so I'd rather have it stop than not. Let's get a blade. There, of course. Okay. And here we are. So this kit with Powerstop, the other reason I went with it is it comes with the new brake pad wear sensor cables. So I added that. Sorry, I'm just getting a phone call. Powerstop pads, and then 2 rotors. Looks like they're made by Centric. Centric, your bestest Bendix. Oh, never mind. Sorry, just part number. Changes, or cross references, I should say. Here's the Rock Auto part numbers. 17-1479 is the pad kit. The wear sensors is SW1613. Looks like they gave me some lube in the rotors. It was a good deal. Honestly, Rock Auto, I have a dealer account with Powerstop, and it was cheaper through Rock Auto than it was through my dealer account. So, again, love Rock Auto. So, we will get going on this, and we'll see how she goes. And I just sliced my finger open, so that's awesome. All right. Just got the wheel lock key out of the hatch. So you want to pop your hatch, lift the rug up. It's right under there near the spare. Jack the truck up. There is a little plastic blob under the truck right there that are jacking points. So I use that to jack it up. Always support the vehicle, even though I don't because I'm lazy. 22 millimeter socket. Obviously put the wheel key on. Once it's locked in there, like so. Take the old trusty impact here. And that's that. So I'm going to take the wheel off, and we'll go from there. Alright, so wheels off. Here is your brake sensor wire cable. It is held onto this little bleeder screw cover. So you take this, pull this little rubber deal back. This comes right off. Goes into the pads, obviously. You can trace this wire, which connects back here. You just use a little pressure there. It comes right out here. What the hell's going on with this phone? I hate this phone sometimes. I'm sorry. Follow the cable. She goes here. She goes everywhere. Jesus Lord. You might have to pull this cap off. I bet the plug is behind there. No, it still keeps going. Alright, well, we'll figure that one out later. In the meantime, you have a Torx bit that holds the rotor on, which I'll let you know what size that is right now. It is larger than a T40, so I'm going to say it's a T50 or a T45 if a T45 exists. I'm not Mr. Torx here, so let's see what's up. This is that's the girl, even though this thing is kind of a piece of crap. T45. So you need a T45 Torx bit, preferably not mine that's rounded. Get that off. That'll loosen the rotor. And then for the pads, or I'm sorry, for the caliper, you need a 13 mil socket. There's one up here and there's one down here. And then I will pop the caliper off. All right, so I have the caliper off. I just pulled when I pulled the caliper off, I broke the low pad sensor. So it's a good deal if you get them when you order your pads or whatever your decision is. It just connects right there to those little 2 tabs. But as you can see, the pads on this thing are absolutely smoked. Again, 13 mil bolt, but if yours spins on you like mine did, then you need a 17 millimeter wrench as well to hold this while you loosen the bolt. So I did that. There is Loctite on the bolts from Land Rover, so that's why they get a little stuck. So what I do is I put a brake pad, old brake pad here. I use my C-clamp here, and then I compress the cylinders, calibers, whatever you would like to call them, down and flat to put the new pads in, since they are thicker than the old stuff. So pads, they just pop out like so. No big deal. There's the oldie. I'm trying to think what else I can tell you. You got to take the caliper mounting bracket off, which there's the one nut right there, and then there's one on the bottom as well, which will remove this so that you can get the rotor off. So I will do that next and keep going. Just showing you how I'm compressing the caliper. I put the old pad in, you put the C-clamp in there. Thankfully this caliper has a nice little dinghy there, and then you just keep twisting it, tightening it, and it pulls the pistons in. All right, so the pistons are completely flush now, as you can see. These nuts back here, 1 and then 2 down there somewhere, they are 21s. So I have 21 on a ratchet. I'm going to take the caliper bracket off, loosen that, and then I will finish taking out this Torx T45 bolt out of here, and then I'll take the rotor off and I'll show you how to assemble it with the new pads and everything. All right, so this is what I had to do to get these bolts loose. They're on there very good. Again, 21 millimeter socket. I have my breaker bar on. It was not enough. I had to turn the wheel left, so that way this is exposed and I clear the fender. Put a breaker bar from the jack on it and push down. I got it off. So now I'm just going to take the socket off, put it on the gun here, and take this off. All right, caliper mounting bracket is off. I am going to leave this bolt hanging here with this dust shield or heat shield, whatever it does, just chilling there. I will now remove this nut and pull the rotor off. So we'll just keep going here with this. I would probably do this one by hand and not put an impact on this socket, because you probably will strip this. So that's that. And then since she's been on here a while, probably have to give her a bang with the hammer on the back side here. And there she goes, she's free. All right, so the brake pad wear sensor, again, it's clipped into these two, so you have to remove these because they're sitting there. So you just pull these off, you pull the brake pad wear sensor off, you pull this clip out that's right here for a splash guard, you pull it back, and then you can see the connector right there. It'll unplug there, walk the whole thing out, reinstall it in the opposite direction. Alright, so I plugged in the new brake pad sensor there. I ran the wire. As you can see, it's the clean, nice clean shiny black one. Put all that old stuff back. Here's the new rotor on. You want to make sure that this dimpled hole matches up with that rotor set screw in there, so you can tighten this. And what this does is just holds the rotor on for you, so you can square everything up. And then once I get the new pads out and on, I'll show you how to install the sensor. Here's the Powerstop box. Comes with pads, obviously, little brake grease, anti-rattle clips, but I'm just going to reuse the originals that are already still in there. They also give you instructions on this. It's important to bed the brakes. So after you put these on both sides, they want 30 decelerations from 30 to 5, leaving a 30-second interval in between for cooling. I usually do about 5 or 10. I'll run it up to like 50 or 60, come down to about 25, go again, so you get a lot of air back in there to dissipate the heat, and do that a few times, and I've never had an issue, but you can do whatever you want. It's important to pay attention to your pad orientation. This male nipple, dimple, whatever you like to call it, should be up and top on the left side. So the passenger side comes with another pad, as you can see, and that will be down below. So you want that one on top, like so. This is how it will look with the caliper bracket bolted back on and your pad slapped in there. Alright, so I slid the caliper back on. As you can see, this is how it should be oriented. And then you'll put the bolts in. So now, for this pad sensor, sorry, you can see the hole in the top of the caliper. It's just like a little round divot. This thing will just sit in the middle of it, like so. You just push down with a little force there, and that's it. She's in, done. This will go back on here. You'll re-pop this, sorry if you couldn't see that, I keep forgetting. You put the little bleeder cap rubber thing back on here. This goes around the nut, so that way this can sit flush. Come on, there you go. And that's that, she's on there. This though, I do not like. Oh, because I missed a spot, you dope. Come on. Okay. This just goes right there, like so. This comes back and goes in here. Come on. Okay. Pop that back in, and that's done. Bang, bang. Alright, so just as a final check, make sure you plugged in your brake pad sensor. Make sure the cable's all hooked up nice. It's not going to hit or drag or get pulled out anywhere. Make sure your set screw's tight on the rotor. Obviously check the 2 bolts on your caliper mounting bracket, and then you're going to tighten the 2 13s, which are the caliper to the mounting bracket. And then from there you're done. Jack it up, take the jack stand out, put your wheel on, torque your lug nuts to 100 foot-pounds, 105 foot-pounds, whatever you're comfortable with, and then go do the brake bedding process. Remember to push your brake pedal 2 or 3 times before you even take off or put it in drive, because the caliper now has to do a little movement here because it has new pads in it. And that is it.